The city of Lyman in the Donetsk region is now at risk of experiencing the same scenario that already happened in Pokrovsk. Russian forces have achieved some success in cutting off Ukrainian logistics to the city. This was reported on his Telegram blog by Ukrainian serviceman Stanislav Bunyatov, call sign Osman. According to Bunyatov, the situation in the Lyman direction is escalating at a geometric rate. The logistics problem is being caused by enemy FPV drone pilots. Under these conditions, battles in Lyman, similar to those in Pokrovsk, will begin very soon. In addition, he notes that movement along the Slovyansk-Izyum highway has become significantly more difficult. Travel along the Slovyansk-Izyum highway is now a 50-50 chance. There are fiber optic FPVs appearing there. Unfortunately, it wasn't possible to cover the entire area with netting. They didn't manage to cover this section in time. That's why we're facing these kinds of problems. The soldier emphasizes the importance of actively countering enemy FPV operators. Much more attention needs to be paid to fighting enemy FPV crews, and each destroyed operator should be awarded points, just like for heavy equipment. In addition, according to the Institute for the Study of War, Russia has concentrated its main forces not only on Pokrovsk, but also on storming another city in the Donetsk region, Myrnohrad. At the same time, analysts write that the enemy has noticeably eased pressure in the area of Kostiantynivka. It is noted that Russian occupation forces continue to actively attack the positions of the Ukrainian army around Pokrovsk, seeking to close the defensive pocket and establish control over the city. In recent days, both sides have achieved local successes. Thus, footage published on November 1st shows Russian units advancing in the southeast of Pokrovsk. However, the very next day, Ukrainian fighters delivered a precise strike against a group of enemy troops attempting to penetrate the northern part of the city. Russian sources, for their part, claim advances to the northeast and south of Pokrovsk, as well as fighting in the surrounding areas, Myrnohrad. At the same time, it is reported that Ukrainian forces managed to regain some of the lost positions. Analysts conclude that Moscow has temporarily reduced its activity in the Kostiantynivka-Drushkivka direction, focusing its resources and attention on capturing Pokrovsk and Myrnohrad, which are seen as key objectives of the current phase of the offensive. A serviceman of the 68th Separate Jaeger Brigade with the call sign Hus confirmed that Russian troops are trying to push in Pokrovsk and to capture the entire city. He says that groups of Russians are present in almost every block and district of the city. Currently, the entire city is in the gray zone, and the Russians are making their greatest efforts in the southern districts. The situation in Pokrovsk is unstable, and positions often change hands. He noted that the enemy is indeed observed in almost every block and district of the city, moving in small groups of several soldiers. Russia wants to encircle the city from two sides to close this pocket. They are putting a lot of pressure from the west towards Hryshyn in order to approach from the southwest on one side and from the northeast on the other, where the fighting near Zarodinske is taking place. Krasny Lyman is one of the active combat zones, and they really want to converge from two directions and close this pocket. But they are still very far from achieving this goal, for now. Commander of the Shershny Dovbusha strike drone aviation units of the 68th Separate Jaeger Brigade, Vyacheslav Lyuty, told Espresso that the Russians are chaotically positioning themselves in the city. They are trying to camouflage themselves and avoid engaging in firefights in order to move deeper in. That's why it's difficult for Ukrainian defenders to destroy enemy sabotage and reconnaissance groups. Lyuty does not consider the situation in the city to be under control and considers it supercritical. In my opinion, the situation in Pokrovsk is supercritical. I can't say that it's under control. Of course, our command intends to restore the positions and establish a stable line, but unfortunately, a lot of sabotage and reconnaissance groups are slipping through and causing chaos in our ranks and logistics. A lot of units have come in to operate. They need to be effectively destroyed and responded to in a timely manner, the soldier said.